you've heard a lot about the deep wide connected learning, joyous learning, and all of those aspects. And I think it makes sense, right? And the big question that most parents have after they hear all of this is, oh, but what about exams? And what about boards, right? So let me answer that question too, because it's a very important question. One is that we are not an alternative system. And this is a stance that we very clearly take. We are a progressive school, and we believe every single child should be able to learn and breathe and live like this. Being alternative or claiming ourselves as alternative would somehow mean that there is something mainstream and that is how it should be, and we are somewhere an alternative choice, right? If you think about it as a child-centric system for learning and education, then child centricity should be the norm. And if it isn't, then we should try and make it one. And when you talk about the life that these children are going to live outside of this space, because we don't define ourselves as an alternative system, we believe they should be able to live in a balance, right? So competition is not everything that is to life, but competition exists with yourself. Many a times you are compared with others, so forgetting about it and not knowing how to handle it is not a good way to live, right? The opposite of it would be collaboration, right? Like if you look at it as a spectrum, and knowing how to live on the spectrum is very important. Same way, the other tangent that we pull for the children would be self-awareness and being able to live in a community and work with a community. So the competition, collaboration, awareness, and community are all the components that these children actually need to experience, is something that we very strongly believe in. And exam taking, being able to actually process and know how to learn for an exam, prepare for an exam, is a very key part of their learning process. So all our children, majority of our children take the Olympiads. They've been doing that for the past 3 years. And we have always had scores within the 1,000 range for all of our children in the school. That when I say 1,000, this is worldwide rankings and district rankings, mostly within the hundreds. 500s and below, right? So what it really enables us to do is benchmark our children's standing with respect to a much more diverse population, because we have a smaller group of children in school. They take the math and the English Olympiad. So it is not, for us at least, it is not about, oh, we have 3 children in the first rank or in the first 10 or the first 100, right? And everybody else is scattered all over the place, right? If they can prove themselves to be within a certain range, that puts ourselves in a very good standing in terms of percentile. And that's great actually for benchmarking capabilities and skills, right? The second piece is that at no grade level do we limit our children to learn only what is appropriate for the grade level. We call that the floor level, and our children learn way more. And by the time they're in 7th or 8th, they're very familiar with what is going to be covered in IGCSE. Many of them are given the IGCSE textbooks itself, and slowly we peel layers and we go deep into the content area, and they gain mastery. They attempt the IGCSE question papers itself during their term exams, and they are very comfortable with those portions that they've covered, and then the next layer of portions that they need to learn. So exam prep is integral part of their learning process. What isn't is unhealthy competition and comparison and jealousy, right? What you can do is see, how do I improve my score? We all can score really well. No board exam, no system says that you need to score 100. That means somebody needs to score a 60. They don't say that, right? Not in a class. It doesn't exist. That kind of a process doesn't exist within a board exam, right? It is the absolute marking, and the child can actually score. Now coming to boards itself, I want to tell you 2 things. One is that boards actually, whether it is CBSE, IGCSE, ICSE, represent a certificate that the children can get at the end of 10th or 12th grade when they write that particular board exam. That is what it is, right? Boards do not prescribe or compel a school to follow a certain kind of a curriculum. Boards can have a framework, which is what most boards do. CBSE, IGCSE, everybody has a framework that they can recommend, books that they recommend, but they do not dictate what or how a school actually teaches something. So we have taken the liberty of how we design the delivery in order to ensure that the promises that we are making about joyous learning, etc., is met. The child is still at the center. At the same time, how can the child write the exams and gain? Okay, so in the early years, up until sorry, not the early years, throughout the years up until 8th grade, we have children's Hindi and a lot of the social studies, etc., benchmarked to CBSE, and the math, science, and English benchmark to IGCSE. Our children in 10th grade will write the IGCSE, and in 12th grade will write the A levels. But the curriculum spread itself ensures that they get the best of the both worlds. So the Hindi curriculum is not lagging too much, and the social studies curriculum does also covers the national history and the civics components, etc., which are global cover. So there is a lot of thought that has been put into the design process to ensure that the child remains at the center and the child's learning remains at the center, right? Between CBSE and IGCSE, we had a toss-up. One is a national curriculum and one is an international curriculum. We had a toss-up on which one we should pick, and last year we made a choice to go with IGCSE. And in a quick nutshell, the reason was that IGCSE is a much more skill-oriented exam than CBSE. There is a lot of rote learning that children would have to go through in CBSE, and the last 2 years in the 9th and 10th, if we had gone with CBSE, it would have broken the culture and the learning that was being established for the school, for the children. And this is something that I've been telling the Falcons parents, and I'll tell each one of you too, that our vision for the children is not just that they will score well in exams, which they will, but the vision is that they will know that the exam doesn't define them, and that they have change maker opportunities that they've explored. They've expressed themselves in 100 different ways, that they've started businesses that have failed and probably done well, right? That they have sought funding, that they've written business plans, that they have attempted to write a book, a song, a novel. All of those things put together of how they've lived their life during the learning process should hopefully define them. And hopefully that's what they take away as they go ahead in life, right? So the design of everything, this choice of the board, the syllabus, the games, facilitator hiring, training process, everything is put in place to ensure that the promise that is being made of keeping the child at the center, inspiring confident learners, is met. And it's a continuous process, that it is not that we've designed it and that's it. As children live it, they get a say in it. As you parents live in it, right, live through it, you get a say in it, you get to talk about it, you get to feed us back, and together we make it better and better and better. So the parents' role in this is very key. Two things. One, we do not expect you to ever do the work on behalf of the child. I know most of you in preschool know that you don't do the children's take homes, and you will not do it as they grow up too. Right. The second piece is that what we would expect would be more, how do I say that, being able to observe the child better, closely, not in terms of time, but when you are with the child also, without judgment, being able to see, oh, the child is doing this, being able to see patterns, being able to see that you get triggered, and that actually triggers the child in certain ways, right? And constantly working towards becoming a better version of, a parent that you can be, and enabling the child, empowering the child to be the best version of who they can be.